On day 1, I spawned in as a billionaire. Whoa, look at that. I was in my mansion filled with diamonds and gold. I already had full enchanted netherite armor because I was just so rich. My butler, Alfred, then walked in.
Would you like me to count your money again, sir?
Just then, a giant explosion shook my mansion, and a huge piggy bank was there. Hey, what are you doing in my house?
You are the richest man in Minecraft? Huh, this will all be mine.
I charged at him with my netherite sword, but before I can get to him, he began to make a strange sound. What? He pulled my netherite armor right off of me. Hey, give that back. It's mine.
Everything valuable in this world will be mine.
The piggy bank began to absorb up all of my riches from my base. Hey, stop that. It doesn't belong to you. He laughed at me and started to run out of my mansion. I quickly chased after him. Stop. Give me back my money, you filthy thief. He was so fast. I wasn't able to keep up with him, and I started to get tired. I stopped in a village that was near my mansion. Hey, I never came here before, and all these villagers look so poor. I began shouting for someone to help me get my money back, but no one would even bother looking at me. Seriously? Nobody? I ran up to a villager and demanded that he would help me get my money back. The villager looked at me and dropped me some sticks and wood. He said this is all he had. Well, this doesn't really help at all. Thanks for nothing. I then ran up to another villager. He began laughing.
Looks like you're just like us now, buddy.
I'm not like you. I'm the richest person in Minecraft.
Not anymore. How about if you help me, I'll help you.
I was out of options, so I agreed to help the villager in return for whatever he promised me. The villager led me to his house in a forest biome. He directed me to a tree, and I saw a cat was stuck in it.
Please save my dear Roger. He won't get down from that tree.
Sure, no problem. I built my way up to Roger using some dirt, but when I reached the top, he just knocked me off. Hey, I'm trying to help you out here. I tried building my way up to Roger again, when suddenly I heard a loud scream. The villager's house was being attacked by a mob of pillagers.
Forget the cat. Please save me.
I crafted a wooden sword and battled the pillager mob. I took down a few of them, but the rest escaped. The villager thanked me for saving him and gave me a reward. Really? $4 for saving your life?
I'll give you the rest once you save my dear Roger.
Oh, okay. Thanks. I started to leave and told the villager that I'd save Roger once I come up with a better solution. As I left the forest, I saw a path of fire that was leading out of the forest. I wonder where this came from. On day 3, I passed by a miner trying to sell cobblestone. Wait, is cobblestone the only thing you're selling, mister?
Yeah, cobblestone is all I have, and no one wants to buy it. What can I do, huh? Everything else is gone.
Wait, what do you mean everything else is gone?
I used to go to a cave that was filled with diamonds, iron, and gold. It was my moneymaker. But one day when I came back, the only thing left in the cave was stone.
This must have been the piggy bank's doing. I guess that means I can't get any upgrades through mining. Listen, I'll take some of that cobblestone off your hands because I need some anyway.
Really? Oh, thank you. You're too kind.
I gave the miner $2 and used some of the cobblestone to craft some stone tools. I made my way back toward the village and found a nice spot close by. I began to construct a home using the miner's cobblestone. It really wasn't much, but I knew eventually I would upgrade it to suit my life. I used my leftover cobblestone to make some furnaces and crafted a few chests with my spare wood. It was getting late though, so I decided to go to sleep for the night. On day 4, I had a crazy dream. I was in some kind of barren wasteland, but on a giant pile of gold and diamonds was the piggy bank who robbed me. Hey, where's all my money?
You're standing on it, along with all the other valuables in Minecraft.
Well, I'm gonna stop you. You won't get away with this.
You didn't try to stop me before. You only care now because it's your money. You don't care about the villagers at all.
The piggy bank laughed and then started to charge at me. I woke up in a panic. I need to find a way to stop that piggy bank. I made my way back towards the village when suddenly I heard some meowing. Oh, yeah, that's right. I still need to figure out a way to bring Roger back to that villager. I'm working on it. First, let's see if I can find some info on piggy bank. When I arrived at the village, I saw that most of the buildings were destroyed. Hey, what happened here? The villager told me that the piggy bank came and robbed the entire place. They also told me that they noticed he was bigger once he collected all their money. That's the piggy bank, all right. Let me help you build your homes back. I used my stone tools and collected some wood nearby. With the wood and cobblestone, I rebuilt the villagers' houses for them. They were grateful and gave me $20 for helping them. Sweet, more money. The village head then approached me.
Why are you helping us?
What are you talking about?
Where were you when we got attacked and robbed by those pig monsters? While you were busy hoarding your money, we could have used your help.
Well, I'm here now. Just tell me where the pig went, and I'm gonna try to bring back all of our money. The village head reluctantly agreed with me and pointed me toward the direction the piggy bank went. Before I set off, I decided I would begin building building myself something I should have built a long time ago. I plan to get all my billions back, and I'm gonna need a safer place to keep them. I built what would eventually turn into a massive bank to hold all my money. This would be a lot more safe from the piggy bank's reach. Once I'd completed all I was able to build for my statue, I went back to the village and bought some food from a villager. I was ready to head off and find that piggy bank. I began traveling in the direction the villager had told me. I hadn't traveled far when I noticed a group of pig robbers. They had to be from the piggy bank and were probably scouting out other villages and people for him to steal their money. I was getting prepared to fight them, but then I realized they were traveling in the same direction the villager had told me the piggy bank had headed off in. I bet if I followed them, they would lead me right to him. On day 7, I followed the pig robbers into a cave nearby a lake. As I went inside, I heard some screaming. Wait, it's my butler, Alfred. He's okay. I rushed at the pig robbers and started to fight them using my stone sword. I took down one of them, and to my surprise, he dropped money. 20 bucks. Nice. The rest of the pigs noticed I defeated one of their allies and started to fight back. Luckily, they didn't deal a ton of damage, and I was able to take the rest of them down. After taking them all out, I realized that I had 100 bucks. Suddenly, I transformed. I was 100 air again. I finally reached Alfred, and he was trapped in a cage. Don't worry, old friend. I'll get you out of here.
You can't, Sir Fozo. It's locked.
I tried to use my sword and pickaxe to break the lock, but it was no use. It looks like I'm gonna need another way. Stay cozy, Alfred. I'll get you out as soon as I can.
Please, do hurry.
I left the cave and headed back to my base. Hopefully with the money I collected, I would be able to buy something to free Alfred. I was traveling back toward the village to see if anyone knew a way I can get Alfred out of the cage. Suddenly, I came across an outpost that was totally on fire. I rushed in to see what was going on, but everyone was running around in panic. Hey, what happened here? Why is everything destroyed? No one even listened to me. They were panicked to get out of the village. I finally was able to talk to a villager and asked him if the piggy bank was responsible for this. The villager explained to me that this guy was different. He was some kind of beast who came in and targeted their money, totally destroying it. Oh no, that's terrible. Why would someone want to destroy other people's money? It definitely could not have been the piggy bank. He would never do that. I helped the villagers put out the fire that was on their houses. I knew they didn't have money to pay me back, but I felt horrible for what had happened to them. My dream of the piggy bank, along with this, had really started to change my perspective on the world. I knew I had to make things right, so I'm gonna do just that. On day 9, I arrived back at my base and started to come up with a plan to free Alfred. I was going to need a key to be made, but I wasn't sure who would be able to do it. I went down to the village and asked the villagers if they knew anyone who would be able to make this sort of thing. I was told there was a locksmith in the village, and he would be my best bet. I traveled to the locksmith's home and explained my situation to him, so that's why I need the key.
Well, that sounds pretty specific, and I'm not sure I can trust you with such power.
I swear, I only need it so I can free my butler.
Well, okay. In return, I want you to do something for me, though. I need you to defeat the monster that's been terrorizing the village.
Oh, the piggy bank? That's the one I've been trying to find.
No, not him.
He explained to me that it wasn't the piggy bank, but a crazy toad.
I hate toads.
I told him that I would be back and show him proof of the monster's defeat. Before I left, I used some of the money I'd acquired to buy more food, as well as a set of iron tools. I didn't know how strong this monster was, but I needed to be prepared. On day 10, I made it to the area where the monster was located. It looks like a massive farm. I ran toward the field, and suddenly, I heard a loud screech behind me. I turned around, and a giant toad was towering over me.
Yeah, I am the cashed head.
So you must be the monster that's also attacking villages and taking their valuables, just like the piggy bank.
Cha did. Piggy bank took all my gold. So if you can't beat him, join him.
Yup, you're going down now. The cash toad charged and rammed me, taking out a few of my hearts. He leapt in the air, and when he landed, I was knocked back. Oh, this guy's tough. I dodged around his attacks and hit him with my sword, but it seemed like he had a ton of health. I tried to run, but when I did, he grabbed me with his tongue and pulled me back over. I had no choice but to fight back. Eventually, I had him low on health, and he stopped attacking. The toad was defeated, and he dropped the toad eye. Perfect. Now I have the proof I need for the locksmith. I started to make my way toward the village to give the eye to the locksmith. I returned to the village and went directly to the locksmith to show him proof that I had slain the monster. I handed him the toad's eye. The locksmith was so happy with what I had done. He quickly crafted me the key for Alfred.
You didn't get this from me, and I'm not responsible for your actions when you use it.
Once again, I just want to free my friend. I thanked him and set off toward the cave to free Alfred. Once I arrived, I quickly made my way inside. I saw the robber pigs were on high alert this time. They must be expecting a second attempt to free him. I wanted to fight them off, but there were more than when I originally came. I didn't know if I would be able to take them all out. Luckily, I heard the piggy bank calling to them.
Man, go and find me another village to steal from.
I I hid and made sure not to be spotted as the robber pigs left the cave. Once they were all gone, I made my way to Alfred.
Oh, Sir Fozo, I knew you would return.
Shh, Alfred, we need to get out of here fast. I unlocked the cage and we hightailed it out of there. On days 13 to 14, Alfred and I were traveling back out to our base when we heard a massive explosion nearby. We had to go and investigate what was going on. We saw a city being attacked by some kind of fire beast. This must be the monster that villager was referring to. We watched as the monster destroyed all of the villagers' gold. This guy wasn't kidding. He just wants to destroy everyone else's money. There's no way Alfred and I were going to be able to take this guy on. He looked way more powerful than us. We felt bad, but we had to continue home. We got back to base, and Alfred was so thankful that I saved him.
Thank you so much, Fozo. I can't believe you were willing to rescue me.
Of course, Alfred. You've always been a dear friend to me, despite the way I treated you when I was a billionaire. Now we're equals, and I'll always make sure it stays that way. I got to work making Alfred a place to sleep right next to my base. It wasn't much, but it was better than sleeping outside.
Fozo, you are so kind.
No problem, Alfred. After that, I got to upgrading my house. If I wanted to be a billionaire again, I couldn't just live in a shed. It was a long day, so we went to sleep for the night. The next day, I went over to Alfred's house to talk to him about the piggy bank. That stupid pig is taking everyone's money and hogging it for himself.
I'm sorry to say this, sir, but I don't really see a difference between you and him.
Excuse me?
When the poor villagers needed money to keep their place from falling apart, you simply brushed them off, not even willing to share a little of your vast amount of gold.
Well, that's about to change. I never truly understood how much I let my greed get in the way of helping people. Until now, I continued working on my bank. As I was building it, I wanted to make sure it was big enough to hold all the villagers' money as well. They deserved a place to put their money where it would be safe. I finished my upgrades and told the villagers that they can put their money here, but they just laughed and ignored me. Come on, guys. If you put your money here, you won't have to worry about Piggy Bank taking it anymore. The villagers walked away from me. I guess Alfred's right. They think I'm just as bad as that monster himself. I'm gonna have to prove to them that I've changed. On days 17 to 18, I woke up, and when I stepped outside of my base, there was some kind of strange person standing there. Can I help you?
I heard you like making money.
Yeah, I love making money. I used to be very wealthy and...
If you want to start making some real money, you should follow this map. You can become unbelievably rich.
A mysterious person threw me a map.
If I were you, I would not tell anyone about it.
I picked up the map, and when I looked up, he was gone.
Sir, who are you talking to?
No one. I have to go. I rushed off to follow the map. I figured this was my best chance to get my money back. I was about halfway to the location when suddenly the piggy bank jumped out to surprise me.
I thought I took all your money. What is this I hear about you having some more now?
I told you, I'm gonna get my money back and stop you.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
He began to attack me, and I tried to fight back, but then I realized every time he hit me, I was losing money. No, I can't let him get any more. I had to flee. I wasn't willing to risk him getting all my money again. I ran as fast as I could, and eventually, I lost him in the forest. I arrived at the location on the map, and it led me to what looked like a pirate ship docked at a beach. I made my way up to the ship and found there was gold and diamonds all over the place. Whoa, whoever owns this boat must be loaded.
Yar, you like what you see?
Yeah, I do. I was told to come here if I wanted to make some serious money.
Yar, you heard correctly. Captain Varkin's me name and gold's me game. I be the richest pirate in all of the 7 seas.
Captain Varkin told me that if I wanted to make some big money, to go find his buried treasure on Doubloon Island.
I can't remember where I buried it, but if you find me crew, you will find the loot. I sent him looking for it days ago. Here's a wee protection for your troubles.
He gave me a flintlock pistol, some ammo, and a map to Doubloon Island. Cool, a new weapon. I wonder how much this can go for.
Best of luck, matey.
I left Captain Varkin's ship and started my journey toward Doubloon Island. On days 21 to 23, I followed the map as far as I could before realizing I was gonna have to craft a boat to travel the rest of the way. I began to chop down a tree and use some of the wood to make a crafting table. I then crafted a boat and began following the map toward the island. And look at that, there it is, the island. I arrived just as the sun was starting to rise. It looked absolutely beautiful. Once on the island, the map ended and Captain Varkin told me he wasn't sure where his crew had buried it. I began to search, and right as I was giving up hope, I was attacked by pirates. I started to fight back against them using my iron sword. Some of them had crossbows, so I had to use my flintlock pistol to hit them at range. These guys weren't tough, but there were a lot of them. With a few more hits, I was able to take the last of them down. The treasure must be buried here somewhere, so I started to dig up the floor, and look at that! I found it! The chest! And inside was the treasure. But what's that? I collected it all and headed back to talk talk to Varkin. I returned to Varkin's ship and gave him his buried treasure.
Yar, you did it. How was me dearest crew?
They attacked me. I think they were gonna try to keep the treasure for themselves.
Arr, scoundrels. I knew I couldn't trust them. For you trouble, here's the piece of me loot I promised. What else be inside be more valuable to me.
Varkin threw me $300. Wow, that was a fast way to earn some money.
Come see me again if you want to earn some more doubloons.
I thanked Varkin and started to make my way back toward my base. I wonder what was in the chest that was more valuable than treasure itself. I returned to the village with my earnings from Captain Varkin. Since I had so much money now, I decided to go and give back to the villagers. I wanted to see what things I could buy for them so they would have some money after the piggy bank took theirs. I went to the armorer and gave him some money for an iron set of armor. He told me no one had ever bought him anything this expensive for him in a long time. I asked him if he would be able to spare some iron for a bucket for my next project. He gladly gave me some. I then went to the local farmer and bought as many seeds as I could from him. He was so appreciative of me. I returned to my base and started to create a farm. This base was really coming together. I will gladly share my crops with the villagers if they are ever in need. After I finished working on the farm, a villager ran into the base.
Help! The flame monster is attacking!
Him? Again? What's his deal? Do you know where I can find him? The villager told me they received news that the fire monster was attacking a town not too far from here. I grabbed some supplies and headed out to confront him. On days 27 to 29, I made it to the town where the flame monster was attacking. It looked like it was a nice city, but now it was totally covered in fire. I found the flame monster destroying a big building. He went inside and melted all the gold away. Hey, flame freak, why are you destroying everyone's home?
It's Blaze, human. And why not? You get to run around holding your precious money. Meanwhile, all I can do is burn it. So if I can't have money, no one can.
Not if I got anything to say about it. I shot Blaze with my flintlock pistol, but the bullets just melted when they reached him. He started to attack me. I didn't think it would do much damage now that I had a full set of iron armor, but to my surprise, it really hurt. I can't fight this thing if I can't hurt him, and I'm just gonna end up losing all my money. I ran away before Blaze could hit me again.
That's right, human. You better run. No one can put out the flames of Blaze.
I headed back toward my base, feeling defeated. I was traveling back to my base when I thought I saw a strange creature run by. I yelled out for it to stop running.
Oh, Fozo, me boy! I'm glad to see you!
Mr. Krabs? I haven't seen you since I was SpongeBob for 100 days. He told me that his pet goose had gone missing and wanted me to go and get him back. He said this goose was very special because it laid golden eggs.
You follow the eggs, you'll find me goose in no time. You'll get a move on!
I left Mr. Krabs and searched for the golden eggs. Nice. I saw one of the eggs not far from where I left. It looks like he didn't go too far. I picked up the eggs and followed the trail. It eventually led me to a field. I picked up the last egg and saw the goose was being attacked by some kind of beast made out of money. I used my flintlock pistol and hit a few of the stacks of money. I didn't want them to get close in case they took my money too. I was able to take down the rest using my iron sword and got $500 from defeating it. Don't worry, Goose. I'm gonna take you back home. I went back to Mr. Krabs and returned the goose.
Ah, you got me goose back! Here's your reward!
He rewarded me $5,000. And he also said that I can keep the eggs as a bonus. Check it out. I'm a thousandaire now. Awesome. Mr. Krabs told me each egg was worth around $1,000. I really didn't think I was going to get paid all of this. I returned to base and decided instead of selling the golden eggs, I would give them to the villagers. I went over to the kingdom and I went to the head villager and handed him the golden eggs.
Why are you doing this?
I appreciate you all for letting me live around here, and it's the least I can do after how I've treated you guys in the past. Some of the villagers took the eggs and walked away.
I'm going to be rich!
But a few stayed and thanked me. It looked like I was making some progress with them. I used some of my money to buy a diamond sword from the blacksmith, and I even went back to the miner to get more cobblestone.
Bozo, this is too much for cobblestone.
It's okay. You need this more than me. I went back to base and gave it some more upgrades using the cobblestone. I expanded my home to be larger and have more room for chests. I even gave Alfred a bigger house too. I then decided to expand my farm so I would hopefully be able to feed future villages if needed. It's also probably a good idea to have a farmhouse, right? I'm gonna be rich anyways. Next, I worked on my bank. It was really starting to come together and looked much more secure than last time. As I was finishing, a villager arrived at my base and decided to trust in my bank. They gave me their money. Nice. I'm slowly but surely starting to win them over.
Now Now go out into the world and infect the other pigs to do my bidding.
On days 36 to 38, I woke up and the miner was at my base. But hey, look at that. He's decked out in riches. Hey, what's going on?
I was in a cave, and then I saw the piggy bank enter it.
He told me that he found a cave that still had some resources left inside, but the piggy bank must be going to steal all of it away. I thanked him for letting me know and prepared to fight him there. I need to put a stop to this nonsense once and for all. I left my base and headed toward the cave. I went inside and started to search for the piggy bank. I ran further into the cave when I saw the piggy bank fighting the giant fire monster.
Stay out of my way, Blaze.
He began to charge at him and hit him a few times.
No, if I can't have money, that means you can't either, piggy bank.
He shot the piggy bank with a fire blast. This is great. With my diamond sword, I can get 2 birds with 1 stone. I charged in to attack, but they saw me before I could do anything. They both attacked me at the same time, almost taking all of my hearts away.
Get lost, Bozo. You're not even worth our time.
The two continue to fight each other. Dang it. I'm still not strong enough to take either of them on. I need to go see Captain Varkin to make more money and upgrade my gear. I left the cave and headed toward Captain Varkin's ship. While I was traveling, I spotted a group of golden pigs. There's only one thing that they could be working for. I watched as the golden pigs ran up to a group of regular pigs and attacked them. When they attacked, the pigs also turned golden. It must be some sort of infection. The pigs noticed me and they began to charge me. Get away! I used my diamond swords and took down some of the golden pigs. They hit me a few times, but luckily they weren't much stronger than the robber pigs. I was able to take them down and collected $2,000 from them. Wow, I really gotta find more of these golden pigs. There are a few pigs that had been unaffected by them. I gave them the coordinates to my base and told them that they would be safer there. The pigs thanked me. I continued toward Captain Varkin's ship, and when I arrived, he was rummaging through a treasure chest.
Oh, me boy, I didn't see you there. Don't mind me.
Captain Varkin, the other day you said there was something more valuable in the treasure. What are you hiding from me? The captain looked embarrassed, and he finally decided to tell me what was actually inside the chest. I followed him in another room, and that is where he explained everything.
There be a legend, matey. The legend of the ancient money tree.
Money tree?
Arg, for eons, this be spreaded as a myth, but I never believed it. I knew this tree existed. Whoever possesses such sapling will have infinite money.
Infinite money? Captain, that is insane. What can I do to help get this?
Help, boyo. This be my quest. Enough of that. Let's get back on topic.
I decided to listen to Captain Varkin, so I told him about the piggy bank and the fire monster. They were more of a now problem either way.
Pig? Never heard of him. Well, your next quest is to defeat the flame monster. His name be Blaze. He keeps getting in me way, burning the gold I find. You need to keep him away if you want to keep getting quests.
Defeat him? But how am I going to be able to do that? Captain Varkin gave me a map that led to an ice temple. He said inside the temple is said to be an ancient ice bow that might be able to penetrate his flames. Varkin also gave me the location of Blaze's base and told me that the bow would definitely halt Blaze's movement. Awesome. I really could use some more money. I thanked Varkin and set off. On days 42 to 44, I returned to base and told Alfred about Captain Varkin and the quest he had given me to defeat Blaze. When I arrived, to my surprise, Alfred looked totally different.
Yes, sir, the drip is real. I decided to start spending some of the money. We're all looking lit now.
I looked around and noticed everyone was really starting to spoil themselves. I started to tell him about my quest to kill Blaze from Varkin.
Are you sure you can trust this Varkin, sir? He is a pirate, and pirates are notoriously known for betrayal.
I have to, Alfred. Most of the money we've made is thanks to him, and he's given us a ton.
I'm still not sure about this, Bozo. You should be careful around him.
What do you know, Alfred? You haven't even met the guy.
Nor would I really like to, but do as you wish, sir.
Alfred went back into his base. Varkin seemed like a great guy, and he was definitely the fastest way I could make money. I had no reason not to trust him, right? I left the base and headed down to the village. I wanted to gear up before traveling to the temple. I went to the armor and used some of my money to buy diamond pants and diamond boots. It was all I could afford right now, but I knew I would have to make more money soon to complete my set. Before I left, I expanded my farm to include a pen for the pigs. Hopefully this way they'll be safe from the golden pig infection. I said goodbye to Alfred and set off following the map that Varkin had given me. I went into the ice biome where Captain Varkin said the ice bow was and began looking for the temple. I ventured further and came across a massive structure. This must be the ancient temple. I went inside and saw saw statues holding different objects. Finally, I found a statue holding a bow. This must be it. Suddenly, ice monsters came from behind the statue. I pulled out my diamond sword and attacked the ice monster. One of the ice monsters rushed at me and exploded. Luckily, it didn't hurt me that bad with my armor upgrades. I used my flintlock pistol and was able to take down the rest of them. I approached the statue and noticed that the bow was frozen. I can't destroy the statue. I might destroy the bow. Instead, I pulled out my crafting table and made some flint and steel. This should melt the ice bow right off. I freed the ice bow from the statue and left for Captain Varkin's ship. I arrived back at the ship and showed him the ice bow. He was very excited and told me the coordinates to Blaze's base.
If ye can slow down or defeat that blasted Blaze, I'll give ye a huge reward.
I left Varkin's ship and began to travel to Blaze's base to try and take him down for the reward. On days 47 to 50, I made it to the coordinates that Varkin had given me. To my surprise, Blaze's base was inside of a volcano. This thing was massive. No wonder this guy's made of fire. I looked around the base to try and find Blaze, but he was nowhere to be seen. He must be out. Dang, I really wanted to put an end to him once and for all. Time to put this ice bow to use. I shot around the base since it was covered in fire. The ice arrows instantly turned the ground to ice. Wow, this ice bow is incredibly effective. I wish I had this on my first run with him. Suddenly, a group of fire monsters started to crawl around out of the volcano. They must be minions of him. They began to attack. They spat fire on me. I started to fight back using the ice bow, which was super effective against them. They didn't stand a chance. I think you guys need to, chill out. No? Okay. I took down the last of them. Wow. Blaze is gonna be upset when he finds out all of his minions are down. Now that they're out of the way, I continued turning the base into ice and completely froze it over. Mission accomplished. I think this counts as slowing Blaze down. Varkin is gonna be very happy with me. I traveled back to my base, and when I returned to my surprise, Captain Varkin was already there waiting for me, and he looked injured. Captain Varkin, what happened? Did Blaze do this to you?
Sadly, Fosho, he hurt me real bad after finding out about he base. However, ye did good, and a deal's a deal.
Captain Varkin gave me $500,000.
I can't go find the money tree as I am now. Ye will have to find it now, Fozo. I'm much too weak to make ye journey.
He dropped me a map and told me this would lead me to where I need to go. But he warned me, the place was guarded by a protector of the money tree. Don't worry, Captain Varkin. I'll find that money tree no matter what. He bid me farewell and headed back to his ship. I then traveled to the village and used the money to buy a diamond helmet and diamond chestplate. The villagers were extremely grateful for me spending my money at their village. I then began to work on my bank. Now that I've got more money, I need to make sure the piggy bank can't take it. I really wanted the villagers to trust me so they can store more of their money in here. As I finished upgrading, more villagers arrived at the bank and put their money in it. I knew they would come around eventually. It just took time for them to. It was getting late and I was getting tired after my journey, so I decided to go to bed. On days 54 to 56, I went to Alfred and talked to him about Captain Varkin.
Sir Fozo, I still don't trust this Captain Varkin. What if this money tree isn't even real?
Come on, Alfred. Varkin has done good by us. We're rich now.
There are better ways of making money than from pirates.
After all he's done for us, you still don't trust him? Look at how you're dressed. This is because of him. I stormed out of the base and began my journey toward the money tree. I wanted to get there as soon as I could so I can finally be a billionaire again. I wasn't far from the base when the piggy bank jumped out at me.
There you are, Fozo. They figured I'd find you here.
What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy on a quest?
Quests? Are you looking for the money tree?
How did you know about the money tree? He began to attack. I charged back at him and struck him with my diamond sword. I was able to deal some damage to him and he even dropped some money. It was clear I was starting to get to him.
Wouldn't you like to know? You're still too weak and too broke to make me squeal.
Piggy bank charged at me and launched me straight into the air.
I've got plans for you, Fozo. Big plans.
I crash landed inside a coliseum and I managed to find myself in the middle of a gladiator battle. A gladiator knight approached me and told me that whoever won this battle would win a reward and be the king's new champion. Reward? I'm in. I used my ice bow and started to take out the gladiators who tried to attack me. It was clear I was much more powerful than they were. Their attacks barely even hurt. More gladiators showed up and I took them down. This is so easy. Who's next? Suddenly, a giant skeleton gladiator entered the Colosseum. Oh, that is not gonna be easy. The giant gladiator hit me and took a few of my hearts away. Wow, this guy hits hard. I gotta stay away from his swords. I dodged the gladiator's sword swings and shot him with my ice bow. I then hit him with my flintlock pistol and finally was able to take him out. The crowd cheered for me for winning the battle. I couldn't wait for my reward. Suddenly, some knights showed up.
Seize him! them.
The knights rushed at me. I decided it was best to surrender instead of fighting back. On days 60 to 62, I was taken from the arena and brought to the king's throne room. I thought I was fighting to be his champion. Why is he arresting me like this?
Champion, please rise.
Oh, I guess I am the champion.
You have defeated all the greatest warriors in the land. We need you to protect us from Blaze the Destroyer. He is constantly attacking us and burning our riches.
Well, sir, you found the right guy. I'm after him as well, actually. Where do you think we can find him?
I am back to destroy all the king's gold.
Well, I think that answered your question.
Blaze was attacking the city. Now was my chance to get him. I rushed down to the courtyard. Hey, stop right there.
You again? I thought I told you to stay out of my way.
He rushed at me and attacked, but it did way less damage thanks to my diamond armor. I fought back using my sword. You can tell I was really starting to weaken him, and I pulled out my ice bow to finish him. I stopped for a second and realized there was a way I can help him. I shot my ice bow at his skin and turned it into ice.
What have you done?
I turned your body icy cold. Now you'll be able to touch things without burning it. Blaze ran toward a house, and it didn't light on fire.
Boza, thank you so much. You have saved me.
He ran off, cheering. I returned to the king, and he gave me $100 million. He thanked me for saving his kingdom. Look at that. I'm a millionaire again. The money tree could wait. I had to head home to share this with Alfred and the villagers. On days 63 to 65, I arrived back at my base and noticed Alfred was even more decked out. He turned his entire house into gold blocks. Alfred, what the heck? I thought the point was to share the wealth.
Well, of course it is, sir. Check out the village.
I went over, and all of the villagers' houses were also made out of gold blocks. Alfred was sure spreading around all my wealth. Alfred, that's amazing. I traveled down to the villagers, and all of them were excited to see me. I started to distribute some of the king's money, and everyone was so thankful. Don't sweat it. I returned to Alfred and told him how I got rid of Blaze.
Wonderful news. Glad it all worked out.
Now I need to find that money tree before the piggy bank does, or else he'll be unstoppable.
Sounds serious. I think you should go after it.
I thanked Alfred for changing his mind and headed off to follow the map that Varkin had given me. On the map, there are specific instructions regarding a large area of water that needed to be traveled. I didn't think my rowboat would be fast enough or be able to withstand the strong tides. I made my way to a large fishing village and asked around if anyone had a boat. When the fisherman asked what I needed it for, he laughed in my face.
Idiot.
No one believed in the money tree, and they told me it was just a legend. Many had died trying to find it, but I knew Captain Varkin wasn't crazy. It had to be real. Finally, I found a man willing to charter for me.
You're crazy, but I'll do it for a large amount of money.
I told the fisherman we had a deal, and we set sail, following the map to the legendary island. The map seemed to have us going in circles, but eventually we came across a massive island. That had to be the place.
Well, many have made it this far. Let's see if you'll make it back.
I was worried. Varkin had told me about a legendary beast that guarded the money tree. I made my way up to the top of the stairs.
Sup, dude? I'm a cash cow.
Ah! There was a cow at the top of the stairs. He wasn't any ordinary cow, though. He was standing on two legs and speaking to me.
You here for a money tree? What's like your deal, man?
Yeah, I'm here for the tree. Are you the beast that guards this place?
Ha, haven't been swole like that in a while. Come with me, bro. The trials begin now.
We traveled inside the structure together. I followed the cash cow inside, and when I started to look around, I noticed that it was filled with rich-looking trees. This guy must be loaded. How were you able to gather all of these?
Like, dude, I just take care of people, bro.
I wasn't sure what that meant, but we continued further into the structure, and there it was, the money tree. I wasn't really sure what the trials would be, but I was prepared for whatever I needed to do.
So, you like ready to start?
Yeah, let's get started. What do I need to do? Slay a monster? Or maybe some kind of mental challenge? I'm ready.
What, dude? Who told you that? You just gotta answer a question for me, man.
Oh, all right. Let's get started then.
Why do you, like, want a money tree, dude?
I used to be really rich and selfish, but I realized that it's not the way to act. I want the money tree so that I can continue to help people and give them all the money they need and make sure that it's in the right hands.
Word up, dude. That's the right answer. Only those who are, like, willing to share the wealth of the money tree can have one. Most people who come in here are, like, trying to get one for their own greed. When I get that answer, man, it just makes me so mad.
The cash cow started to grow slightly. This guy must have a pretty big temper. I see why they call him a beast. The cash cow calmed down and returned back to his normal size.
Whoa, totally just almost freaked, man. Anyway, you're a good dude. Here's the money tree set. sapling.
The cash cow threw me a money tree sapling. I thanked him and quickly left before he can change his mind. I made my way back to the ship and we set sail back toward our home. On days 72 to 74, I arrived at Varkin's ship, but to my surprise, he wasn't waiting for me. This was the first time I had arrived and he wasn't here. It felt kind of strange. I searched the ship and wasn't able to find him anywhere. Suddenly, I started to hear strange mechanical noises. I tried to find the source of the noise, but I wasn't able to. I decided it was best to head home and not risk the piggy bank acquiring the money tree. I returned to my base and showed Alfred the money tree I had acquired. He was so excited we would no longer have to worry about money again. Before we can celebrate, the piggy bank showed up.
Give me the tree, bozo.
He started to attack us. Alfred and I did our best to keep the tree away from him, but he continued to rush us. He then started to absorb, and he pulled Alfred and I inside of him. What? We were inside the piggy bank, and there was gold everywhere. What is going on? I began to look around, and I saw Captain Varkin was also here. Varkin! Oh, you must have gotten pulled inside the piggy bank as well.
Give me the tree, Fozo.
In time. We need to find a way out of here first. Don't you realize we're inside the piggy bank?
I know where we be. Now give me the money tree.
What has gotten into you, Captain? He started to attack Alfred and I. Stop, Captain! What are you doing?
Are ye proud of my greatest trick yet, this vessel?
Wait, no, it can't be. It was you? The entire time?
Throughout all me life, I have always been seen as a ghastly pirate. No one ever viewed me as a great one. As I looked around at all the billionaires and all me failures, it finally led me to madness. Till I stumbled across the spooky cavern and found this maroon creation. But I knew 'twould lead me to become the richest person in the world. I knew the money tree existed. However, I needed someone to go and get it for me. Who do you think the hooded man was who told you to come after me? Do you really think I got injured by Blaze? Everything was set up from the beginning, Fozo. And here we be. The only thing in me way now, be ye.
Varkin continued to attack us, and he was extremely strong. I was starting to lose my heart. I tried to fight back as best as I could.
You need to get out of here, Fozo. I will hold him off.
Alfred started to fight back against Varkin, but I couldn't leave him here alone. I tried my best, but he struck Alfred, and he fell to the ground.
You have always been great, sir.
Alfred died, and while I was talking to him, Varkin was able to steal the sapling from me.
Now, I have everything I need to collect all the riches in the world.
He ran off, and I felt something pushing me. On days 75 to 77, I was sucked out of the piggy bank. I could only watch as Varkin left my base. I had failed everyone, including myself. I should have listened to Alfred, but I was so blind with the money that Varkin was providing. I couldn't see that he was manipulating me. The villagers showed up at my base and told me that not all was lost. They encouraged me to keep going.
You have brought us so much. We are forever grateful to you. You cannot give up hope.
I looked around at the villagers and realized I'd brought them so much joy. I needed to make this right. I was then approached by another villager, and he asked if I remembered who he was. I wasn't sure who the villager was until he spoke.
Hey, my cat's still in the tree, you know.
Oh man, I totally forgot. I need to go and handle this to make this right at least. I followed the villager back towards his home. On the way to the villager's house, I stopped by the local fisherman on the lake and bought some fish for him. I had a much better plan to get the cat out of the tree this time. I gave the fisherman a bunch of money, and he told me it was too much for the fish, but I told him to keep it anyway. It was the least I can do. We arrived at the villager's house, and the cat still hadn't moved at all. He was stuck in the tree in the same position. This time, my plan was much different. I started to build the staircase up to the tree, and when I got close, the cat started to hiss at me. I took the fish I had and lured the cat down the tree. I walked over to the villager and tossed him the fish so that the cat would go toward him. The villager was so excited.
Okay, just as promised, here is your reward.
The villager tossed me $1 billion. What the heck? You only gave me like $4 on day 2.
Well, you didn't do the job I asked you to do.
He told me that while the piggy bank had always taken everyone's money from the village, he always had his money at his house. I decided not to question it. I was a billionaire again. Wow, to think that I could have became one on day 2. I started to make my way back toward my home. On days 81 to 85, I returned to my base as a new billionaire. I figured this was the perfect time to finish my bank. bank. I put on the finishing touches on the bank and made sure it was secure. I noticed the piggy bank wasn't able to break into it when he stole the money tree. Perfect. A safe place for all of our money. As I finished the bank, the villagers showed up and all agreed that their money would be safer here than anywhere else. I'd finally won all of their trust over. I began distributing some of my money and apologized again for how I treated them when I was a billionaire. The villagers gladly accepted my apology and told me how much I'd changed in the days leading up to now. I promised that none of them would regret it. After I was done, the cash cow from the Money Tree Island arrived at my base.
Bro, that pirate, got the money tree from you.
I should never have trusted him. He ended up being the one I was trying to stop the entire time.
Seriously? I thought I, taught that dude a lesson when he came looking for the money tree that one time.
So you were the one who injured Varkin?
Yeah, guy got me, so heated. Luckily, I know where he's taking the money tree. Let's go get that thing back, dude.
I followed the cash cow out of the base, and we began our journey toward where Varkin had taken the tree. We arrived at the island Varkin had landed on and began looking for him.
We have to, hurry, bro. It's only a matter of time before he, has infinite money.
As we were searching the island, we were attacked by a group of golden pigs. They must be here to protect Varkin while he finds a place for his money tree. We started to fight back against them. Luckily, they weren't very tough, and the cash cow grew to his monstrous size and started to take out a ton. Wow, this guy seriously is the beast.
Greed just, gets me so mad, dude.
The cash cow spotted Varkin's ship and told me he had a plan to slow him down after we got his sapling back.
I brought a bunch of TNT, and that dude won't know what hit him.
We headed onto the ship and set up all the TNT the cash cow had brought. We made sure to place it all on the boat so that we could blow it up, and he would have to find another way back. Once all the TNT was set, we stepped back and lit it off. We watched as the ship exploded into a million pieces. He definitely heard that, but he won't know what it was. The cash cow told me to follow him because he could sense where the sapling was. Bad news though, we were going to have to face Varkin. On days 91 and 94, the cash cow led me deeper into the forest on the island and told me we were getting closer to the sapling. Eventually, we came across a clearing in the forest, and in the middle was the sapling. The cash cow told me to be careful and grab the tree while he kept watch. I ran up to the sapling and grabbed it. We had it back. It was now just time to escape. As we were getting ready to leave, Varkin showed up in his piggy bank.
Where do you reckon you're going with me, doubloons tree?
Get out of here, bro. I will, totally hold him off.
The cash cow grew and began to fight with Varkin. The battle looked intense, and I wasn't sure if the cash cow could take him on alone, but I did as I was told. I ran out of the forest as fast as I could and got to the boat we arrived in. A few moments later, the cash cow came running out of the forest.
Let's go, dude. I slowed him down.
We set sail towards our base and looked back to see Varkin coming out of the forest. He stopped and noticed his ship was destroyed.
Ye will pay for this. I will get ye in the money tree.
On days 95 to 99, the cash cow and I arrived back at the base after we escaped Varkin. I created a nice area in the center of the village for the money tree to stay. This way, any villager would have access to it if they ever needed money. I placed a sapling right in the middle. Suddenly, the ground shook and the sapling started growing into the money tree. The villagers gathered around the tree and looked at it with awe and admiration. I had given them everything they needed, but Varkin needs to be dealt with for good. I started to rally the villagers and convinced them that they needed to prepare for battle. The villagers were scared, but they knew they had to fight back against Varkin. I traveled to the king's castle and bought as much diamond armor and weapons as I could carry. I then returned home and began distributing the weapons and armor to the villagers. I turned around and saw Blaze was arriving at my base. Don't worry, everyone. He can't burn our money anymore. What are you doing here?
I came to fight alongside you. I owe you everything after you took away my curse. The piggy bank must be stopped.
I thanked Blaze for coming back to fight with us. I then realized it was getting late and went to sleep for the night. This was it. Day 100. Varkin and his army arrived at our base. His golden pig minions began to attack the villagers. I used my flintlock pistol as well as my diamond sword to take out as many of them as I could. The cash cow and Blaze made quick work of the golden pigs as well. Finally, I spotted him. Varkin. It's over, Captain. You can't win.
That's where you'd be wrong, matey. I will never be laid back.
He rushed at me using his piggy bank to attack me. It hit really hard, and I felt as though I was being overpowered. Oh no, I don't think I can do this alone.
While I'll have me vessel, ye stand no chance.
Hey, tough guy.
I turned and saw the cash cow. He charged directly at Varkin and he launched Varkin directly out of it. And I told him that there was no way he could win now without his piggy bank.
That may be so, but I won't be going without a fight.
He charged me using a netherite cutlass. It dealt some serious damage, but I can tell my diamond sword was hitting him just as hard. We continued to fight, and eventually I can tell he was weak. I took out the flintlock pistol he had given me and used it on him. Down he went.
No!
The world was saved from one man's greed and helped open the eyes of another.